are worthless, wipe them out. Adjustable rate mortgages are criminal inventions, forget about them. Stop all foreclosures, shut down the zombie banks. Then you have to say what you want to subsidize and foster and assist is tangible physical commodity production. That's where this Detroit stuff becomes so important. And so you have tax incentives for factories, roads, infrastructure, rail, and then that gives people well-paying jobs to then go buy food at the local restaurant or at the local shopping mall. Now, Tarpley, we're almost out of time. I want to hit a few other issues. They have said they're now going to seize insurance companies and other banks and other industries, and we see Obama telling the big three automakers, we're going to tell you what you've got to do. We're going to tell you how you're going to operate. The government is going to come in and run you, but then he double speaks and says, but this isn't nationalization. Well, it really isn't. It's looting and then just privately directing them. So clearly they are saying they're going to take over local cities and counties as they collapse. So we have these bankers through the government taking over everything while not supplying the funds to start it back up again. They implode it, by design clearly, and then they won't come in and prop it up. They just come in with military force, or they come in with all these orders. So we see them hijacking everything. And so speak to that and what they're doing with the automakers. And then in closing, when we come back, I want to get into how they pyramid the debt, what derivatives are for those that understand, and what this G20 means with this new ultra monetization where they're issuing this super currency. Yeah, the thing with Detroit, again, is those factories are the most precious asset for humanity that we still have in this country, among others. What you ought to be doing with those is building equipment for a space program, massive production of tractors to mechanize agriculture, especially in Africa, the third world, Sudan, Bangladesh, places like this. You ought to be producing stuff for maglev rail, high-speed rail, all kinds of capital goods that can come off those assembly lines. And instead, what Obama wants to do is impose the gangrene economy. The gangrene economy means these cars.
No, we covered that earlier. I mean specifically the unconstitutional nature of Obama saying, we're not going to give you money, and when you fail, we're going to come in and basically hand you off to foreigners. I mean, the issue of the president coming in and doing all of this.
Yeah, I think it's illegal, and of course it's the corporate state. In other words, this is precisely. I think this may be covered by the Supreme Court opinion striking down the National Recovery Act in the 1930s, which was a corporatist idea, which was not a good idea. So they may be in violation of Supreme Court opinions.
Okay, break down how the derivatives work and how they nest them as Russian dolls or as a pyramidal structure.
Yeah, if you look at this AIG hedge fund in London, right? AIG Financial Products. It's clear that they had, first of all, collateralized debt obligations and credit default swaps. Credit default swaps are kinds of insurance policies that these hedge funds sell each other outside of normal insurance regulation. So it's about $3 trillion of derivatives coming out of one hedge fund, one in London, controlled by AIG. That's more than the gross national product of France. So it's pyramided in the sense that they probably start with credit default swaps, then they add a layer of collateralized debt obligations, then they add a layer of structured investment vehicles. You can add a couple of layers of auction rate securities. You might have some asset-backed securities, some mortgage-backed securities. You mix this all up. The idea then is, as long as the cash flow is positive, the leverage is positive, and the profits at the top that are generated are absolutely astronomical. But the problem is, as soon as anything goes wrong at the base, any little thing, right? If Delphi begins to go bankrupt, if a few subprime mortgages here and there get defaulted on, then what that does is it takes all of that and it magnifies it and it multiplies it so that then the losses generated at the top of the pyramid are absolutely astronomical. That's what they went through.
And so what's this cherry on top accelerating the private IMF World Bank system now saying, we're issuing secret currency and we won't tell you what any of this is, but just give us more money.
Yeah. The group of 20 meets tomorrow, this week, right, the day after tomorrow. So this is the London G20, right? This is 90% of the world economy. It's Europe, Japan, Canada, U.S., big third world countries, China, Brazil, India, and so forth. There are basically three things. The dominant guy here is Gordon Brown. He's running the world economy. In other words, he's telling Obama and Geithner and Summers and Volcker what to do, along with Alistair Darling, Chancellor of the Exchequer, and Mervyn King of the Bank of England. They want to do three things.
$500 billion in cash coming from countries to beef up the International Monetary Fund. That's the bank of the world, as far as I can see. Under Dominique Strauss-Kahn, a French banker, the U.S. is supposed to give $100 billion to that. 5 times what we gave for food stamps. Twice what we had for infrastructure in this country goes to the IMF.
Stop there, man. We're going to come right back, ladies and gentlemen, with Webster Griffin Tarpley. They keep calling it a stimulus. All it is money to bankers to keep as they freeze credit. You've noticed they've announced credit's even tighter. They're not loaning for houses and cars. But they keep saying, give us more money, we'll loan to you. It's all a lie.
Do you have trouble sleeping due to sensations in your legs? You are not alone. Millions of Americans suffer from restless legs. Restless legs is a condition caused by the uncontrollable urge to move your legs. Signs include itching, pulling, tugging, and the feeling that bugs are crawling on your legs. If having restless legs is preventing you from getting the good night's sleep you deserve or is preventing you from enjoying life, you need Restulex. Restulex is an all-natural supplement that contains 74 essential vitamins, minerals, and herbs that you may not be getting in your diet. Restulex will help ease and comfort your restless legs within 24 hours and will allow you to go back to your regular routine without discomfort or embarrassment.
Call 888-4FIT-LEGS. That's 888-434-8534. Or visit 4fitlegs.com. That's the number 4fitlegs.com. And ask how you can get Restulex for free today.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
Don't be a victim of sudden cardiac arrest due to inflammation of the arterial walls. Our hemp foods are anti-inflammatory and gluten-free and can greatly benefit the health of the human body. By calling 908-691-2608 or visiting hempusa.org, you can benefit from this wonderful natural food source. Our customers are also purchasing this natural food for long-term storage, camping, survival, and emergency food rations. Call 908-691-2608 or visit hempusa.org today. HempUSA.org believes that now is the time to plan for the future, and food will be your greatest asset. People spend money on all kinds of things, but our warning is prepare now for food shortages in the future. So don't delay, call today, 908-691-2608, and see what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you bet, Webster. You're the best. We appreciate you coming into town. Okay, folks, we are back live here, ladies and gentlemen. Final segment with Webster Griffin Tarpley. And then we've got Luke Radowski and other We Are Changers up at the 8 after when we come back in live in the next hour. We'll come back live for 5 minutes, and they're going to be on with us. I got a ton of other news we're going to be covering, and come up in about 45 minutes. We'll go to the tent cities in California where we have reporters there shooting footage for this new film as well. Okay, so we got into the G20 where they're openly announcing a Europe of the world run by England. We're watching the Parliament last week, taping it to put it in the film. Openly announcing world government, tracking everybody down, a global tax rate of over 80% to feed the banks. I mean, this is
to save the polar bears.
Yes, well, oh yeah, they say that. I mean, this is nightmarish world government. So speak about that and this currency dictatorship.
Yeah, Gordon Brown and his crew are running this G20, and what they want is $500 billion from various countries, $100 billion from the U.S. That's to be able to impose IMF dictatorship on the countries that are forced to turn to the IMF for loans. Places like Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, Romania, Iceland, Turkey, and so forth. A lot of those countries already under IMF dictatorship, because when you get the loan, you give up your sovereignty. It's a diktat, right? They give you a letter of intent, and you've got to do what it says. Then there's also the special drawing rights hyperinflation on top of all this, that not only did they demand cash money from the various countries,